Okay, I'm trying this. I have hell up videos, so I'm gonna try the, okay, just my freaking tripod. Come on. There we go. All right, guys. So, twin flame separation and why. And I started channeling. Actually, I've always had a mediumship connection. As I spiritually grew, I was able to do a lot of channeling with Glow Family, with my spirit guides, with a spiritual team. Anybody is in other, I call it, a lot of times I found I channel from the ninth dimensional area. But with this twin flame connection, I have read so many people when I was doing tarot that were in twin flame separations. They could understand it. Some of them were in karmic relationships, the other person in separation. Other, it was just that they, were not moving towards that person. It was like you guys united and it was short-lived and you really couldn't understand it. One thing with twin flames is you mirror one another. So with this twin flame connection, a lot of it has to do with being that person. And so you have a lot of self-work to do. So things that you fear, things that you need to work on, also your other person, the other twin, has probably got to work on it as well. And that's why this union hasn't come together. A lot of times it can be soul contracts. A lot of times it can be karmic issues that they're dealing with, you're dealing with. But a lot of you guys are like, I'm ready. I don't understand this. But here's the thing. How many times do you self-doubt? How many times do you feel like you can't move on to another relationship because it's just as short-lived as any other? Like, work because you're drawn to another. And so they're not ready for that, not that time in their life. I read for people that have been in separation for like 9 years more. But they know that that's their person. And, get validation with connecting with my guides at that time with my tarot cards. But it would show it all in separation, in reverse, not coming together, no new starts. Or at this time, what is blocking you? And a lot of time it's self-work. And when I say self-work, this is love, this is purging things that do not serve you. This is needing, how like sometimes the universe tells you once you release things that don't serve you, that brand new start is going to happen. It's like, boom, there it is, sorry guys, I went for a walk and I did not, it's just I felt the need to get on here and do this. So anyway, this connection is spiritual. There's more of a union already done in the spiritual form versus the physical form. Now it's like you need to face these fears, be ready. It's self-work on each other. So, you say, well, I've done all the work. I've put everything in. I've given all my stuff, or you've messaged and they never message back. Well, here's the thing. There's a reason behind that. There's a fear there. There's something that they see in that mirror of reflection with this twin flame connection that they're not ready to face yet. And fears is the biggest problem. So for my ladies that always ask why, I started focusing on channeling. What does this mean? What is there that blocks this union? And a lot of times it's not being ready spiritually. It's not being ready within areas of your life. A lot of us that are spiritual, we don't like to be around a lot of energy, so we avoid people. Well, that is something that you need to learn to work on. Protect yourself. Focus on sending your I call it, they say it's a Merkaba, but it's your bubble. It's like stretch that out as much as you can so you don't feel those other outside energies. I myself have to work on that because I don't like going to my daughter's games or any type of things that do with people because I don't like to feel all the energies around me. I'm just not a people person, but I'm making myself. My daughter started meets for gymnastics, and so I'm like going out there. I want to see her. I want to make sure she achieves her goals in life. That's another thing. There are sometimes times we live behind things that we didn't have. A lot of times this can stem back from your childhood of abandonment, of not feeling that you were worthy enough to be able to be a successful person, to have this great love in your life, to be you feel cursed. There's things that you have to face and get rid of them, release and purge them, or you are never going to have that union. You are never going to have that love. Even if, say, you decide not to be with your twin in this lifetime, you're never going to move forward and have a love with anyone. It's always going to be short-lived until you accept you for you. You focus on meditating. I know a lot of you don't, you feel like you can't do it. Well, here's the thing that I have learned with meditation. I don't use the music or guided meditation sometimes. I will just sit there for 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever I have time for. And all of the stuff, when I focus on my breathing that comes in, I notice that it's things that I need to work on. It's messages giving me signs that this is what you need to focus on to get to where you want to be. Sometimes we bury ourselves in another aspect of our life that is good, like work. You know, burying yourself in books, knowledge about anything that you can, because that's how I am. I get in hermit mode really easily, something that I have to work on. But you have to have this self-love. These karmic relationships that these people are in, that you're waiting on them, that person cannot even begin to work on themselves or release something until you start releasing your fears. The more you focus on you and not this twin union, is the easier that this union will actually happen in a physical form. Because you're technically already in union in spiritual form. It's because those souls recognize each other. It's one soul actually split into two that incarnate into two different bodies. And when they meet, it's at a certain specific time in their life. They meet, boom, the connection's there. You can't break it. And because that gold cord, some people say it's a red cord, some people say it's a silver cord. I see it as a gold cord. It stays connected. You can try everything to cut it, but it doesn't work. And that's why this obsession stays. You're separated. You want them, but you're trying to move on to somebody else, and it just doesn't happen. But there's also a question behind how, because you're supposed to move forward and live your life happily, deal with your karmic lessons, deal with things that you're supposed to face in your life. These things don't work out also because there's still those fears there. Regardless of being intuitive, you can pick up on an energy around you. If that person fears a relationship, nobody's going to come within a 2-mile range of your ass. They're just not going to. If you're not acceptive of relationship, if you fear relationships, then you're just going to have this sign on you that says, I am not available. It's just how it's going to be. And, if you don't practice on these things and you're like, okay, so how do I do this? Like I said, I focus on self-meditation. Then I'll find these guided meditations on where, I purchase them that help with that part of your life. But I'm going to say, I have found that affirmations are the biggest thing that can help a person, because how you wake up in a day is how the rest of your day is. How you start to perceive yourself from this moment on is how you're going to be perceived by others. Our zodiac signs definitely play into how we are in our lives. I'm definite Virgo. I do have Leo in my moon and Sagittarius in my rising. Sagittarius in my rising is how I'm technically viewed or perceived by others. But I guess you would say that's the business aspect of your life too. But I am mainly perceived, I'm strong Virgo. Leo I have in my moon and Venus, I believe. So I'm strong, have a lot of fire element in my other, I guess you would say moon, all of these other things. Well, anyway, I have that there. But my Virgo drives my schedule. Trying to break these aspects of our zodiac signs is another thing that is important. You know, every zodiac sign, which I will make a video on how each person is perceived from one zodiac to the 12th one. You know, I'm gonna do that. But for right now, I'm focusing on this because I have so many people that private message me, you know, for a reading, and a lot of times I do see that this is a soulmate twin flame connection. Now there is a difference between the two, because there can be a which you would spend the rest of your life with because you choose not that twin in this lifetime, and generally you don't even acknowledge that can come into existence, like that you've never physically met them, so then you don't recognize it. So you stay in that divine soulmate connection and then you move forward. But I feel like with any relationship period, you have to have things worked out for yourself to be able to move forward. You know, and as tarot readers that we read for that are about love, and a lot of it's just needing to have self-love to be able to move into that next amazing relationship. So even if you say you decide you're just done with trying to go for this twin flame connection because you just have too many things that you need to focus on in your life, you're still going to have those relationships because you're never facing it. You're never setting down and going, okay, recognizing what aspects in my life do I fear or do I see in that other person that I need to fix. That's how you. So once you start to work on that, once you start doing that, then it's going to be a lot easier. And then that union could come into play. You can start moving towards one another. I have a friend that is in separation. The other person is single, and she doesn't understand this because together it's amazing. Their connection is awesome. The thing is when you're in that connection physically with each other, and you take those next steps, there's between you two that makes you money. You know, maybe you don't, but the other person, that's that runner chaser scenario that comes into play. So my best advice for her is to release it to the universe and to anybody else, you know, that's watching this. Release it to the universe. Allow it to how would you say? Allow it to come into fruition by work self. The more you work on yourself, you're helping your twin flame. That's how it goes, and that's all to do with being of one soul split into two bodies, you know, incarnated. That's how that all works. So in order to face this and into acceptance, release your twin. Don't focus on where they're at in this area. Work on you, and you will start to see. You might get a message. You may start to communicate. Then you're going to notice, okay, I'm on the right path, or you're going to see synchronicities that you're on the right path. You know, pay attention to the. Ask your angel to give you the divine message from the universe that's going to be like, boom, there it is. Oh my gosh, this person is for me. I need to work on myself before I can push them to come to me. I mean, how do you expect someone that's not complete to come into a union whenever it's supposed to be the best thing on earth? Yes, I have found there is twin flames that are, but it's still use a lifetime of self-work. They have faced the major fears of their life. They've released those problems. You do an energy transfer reset that does reset your soul to its initial purest of incarnations, like the first incarnation that you ever. People are very old souls, you know, their lives, they incarnated billions of years ago, and they've just lived in this cycle of never being able to come into union because their bodies never awakened in a lot of those lifetimes. Their spiritual body, they never aligned with it. Once this awakening does happen, this energy transfer reset can do that as well. And you ask, what does this doing transfer reset help for me or help my partner? Well, it will, because it awakens both, because that soul connection is one. You know, it does. It awakens it. A lot of times, if you've not met your twin flame, you'll come across them with this. It's just aspects that you need to, I don't know, I'm kind of rambling right now. So I kind of lost my train of thought as well. Oh goodness, I'm doing this on a live too. No editing. I'm just gonna put it out there. I guess it wasn't important. So, whatever you're feeling towards resentment, anger towards your twin flame, whether it be they're in a karmic relationship or they haven't, communicated with you, or you guys met, it was intense, and they just stopped talking to you and they ghosted you in essence. Don't have that resentment. I know it's hard, but you got to release your ego out of these type of connections. You have to release that ego. You have to focus on your issues at hand, deal with that, and it's like it kind of does this healing process soul at one, even though it's in two bodies, it works on both people. So I know a lot of you are going to be like, I am just don't have any problems. I'm spiritually connected. I'm spiritually enlightened. Well, you wouldn't be coming here if there was an issue. And I know you say, well, my only issue is the separation. Well, if your twin is having issues, it means you're having issues. That's it. Start to meditate. Focus on what it is, or if you realize it, start working on it. If this is self, start to do things that will make you feel better, because another aspect is you happy with yourself, how you are in this lifetime, whether it be that finishing school, getting the job that you want. All of these things play into how you feel about you. So just remember that. Um, if this is completely about, healing from past childhood issues of abandonment, it's another thing I was going to get at. Healing and forgiving until you forgive and release that, something that's right there holding you back. That's something that probably plays into why you feel like you're not good enough for a relationship, why they've never lasted, is because you live in that continuing cycle that is, you know um, this is how it's supposed to be. Forgive, forget, release, move forward, because there is nothing in the past that you can fix. And that's another thing with this energy transfer reset, with this resetting your soul back to its original state. We do a deal also that releases karmic contracts that you put in your life to learn from something. It like your releases those. We go through this list of things that you release them. And I'm going to tell you, this is an ongoing process. This ETR can take anywhere from 4 weeks to several months to finish, because you have a lot of self-worth. I had the energy transfer reset done on myself in August, and I am still, it's like everything just right there. There should be a warning label on the dang ETR. Let me tell you, because I wasn't expecting all this stuff that would just come out, because it scared the heck. I went running for the hills, and it's like you just don't want to face these things. But that energy transfer reset kind of puts it out there, and you start to recognize things that you do need to work on. So it is $20 if you want to do it. If not, I'm not trying to say that that's what's going to get you to your union. I'm just saying that it is a help, and it is because I'm going to tell you something. Becoming spiritual will start to enlighten you, start going through that dark night of the soul of everything that's negative in your life, start to, and one problem that we all do is we sit there and we go, well, we deserve this, or this is all it's going to get, it's never going to get any better. So then you give up on that spiritual path. You need to deal with it, sit there and go through it, and go, well, how can I look at this more positively? Then that is going to get you to the next step. Sorry about that, guys. It was my daughter. I got to tell them and her doing this. So, anyway, just we all, even I, have things that we all need to work on and release. And by doing that will get you closer to whatever it is that you want in life, whatever connection, because you say you feel you got one aspect of your life that's great, and then this other part is not. To get it even, for some reason I'm seeing that scale, to get that even weighing in on both sides, you have to do that self-work in all aspects. You have to face those negative issues that you buried long ago. You have to purge it, release it, forgive. And I'm going to tell you something. I had some major issues that I had to grow up with, and I forgave those that wronged me, like in very many areas. I forgave them. I don't communicate with them because you don't have to. How you forgive them is you forgive it and send it out into the universe, transmute it into loving, light, healing energy. That's how you do it, because you don't have to. You can cut cords with any person that's negative, that you don't want to have in your life. I'm not saying that. I just want to be clear with these issues. Whatever it is, past relationships, drama that everybody in this world has so much that they have to work on, and it's a daily task. But these that are sitting around waiting, well, I'll just wait for this person to come in. Well, I put this work and never did. It's like you're really not putting the work where it's meant to be, or like where it needs to be, I guess you would say, for that to actually go further. So for you ladies and gentlemen that are in this separation, just face your fears. Set and look at every aspect of your life. If you're saying, well, I don't have anything, there's something there. There is something, whether it's needing to be more spiritually, and going through, I know some people go through that ayahuasca where they drink this stuff and go through this major, it points out all the dark stuff that's in your life that you need to face. I mean, if you've got to do that, then do it. I myself, I'm a little going, I don't like stuff that feel out of control, so I have not been able to do that type of stuff yet. I've looked into it, but I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. So I'm one of those. I'm a Virgo, and I will tell you that I like to have things in my control. If it's out of my control, and that's something that I have to work on, like I said, I think I've tried doing this twice, but you have to get out of that zodiac. Like, well, this is how a zodiac's supposed to be. This is how I'm going to be. So if you're a fire sign, a little bit pushy, and you're a little bit, it's my way or the highway, then that's an issue, because you have to realize that the universe will freaking teach you patience. It will teach you patience, and if you don't ever grasp it, then you're going to continue the cycle forever. If you are an earth element, you need to learn how to not be so grounded. You need to learn to be more like an air sign or a fire sign. Kind of get yourself out of that box is all I'm saying with that aspect. And I will make videos explaining the zodiacs on my understanding perspective of it. And then I will be doing changes for each zodiac sign, but I will be doing it channeling what spirit is needing to give to you, not through cards. I mean, given that is messages definitely that are meant to come out whenever you're asking questions, but these chats are going to be from what spirit wants you to know, because I think that will generally help a lot of people in this area of life and other aspects of their life. So I'd like to thank you guys for, if I wasted your time, I do apologize, because I'm kind of not used to put out there, especially without cards. I decided I wasn't going to read cards, but I got so used to using that as my way of thinking about you guys that are in the, watching me. So I had to put myself out there without it. And next time I will be a little more dressed up. I do apologize. I just, I felt needed to put this out there. And for my ladies that are going through, this separation, I love you guys. And just realize it will work out. Just work on yourself. And that's really the main message that came to me. It has to be self-work in order to get to where you want to be in a love life, in your spiritual journey, feeling whole. You will get there if you do that. So I'd like to thank you guys for coming, and I'm going to go ahead and get off here, and I will start working on how I'm going to do my videos, and it'll be a little bit better than how this one is. So I thank you guys.